Sports on Tap Detroit, brought to you by the Realtors of the Joe Wright Group, Jason Stiltner of Flagstar Bank, Time Out with Steven Scott, presented by Baldman Entertainment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
We are tonight's entertainment.
We're here to fuck shit up.
Sports the way it should be. Nothing sugar-coated, with loaded with all the information you wanted. From legends to prospects, nothing's off limits. Chris and Joe be taking on all topics with no stopping. They keep it rolling and going and ball hopping at a rate that's hard stopping. With news that's jaw dropping, they're getting it in. Sports Center competition, man, they in it to win. This ain't a fluke, from Carolina to Duke, from MSU to Michigan. You'll know if you listening, if you ain't, you missing it. All the excitement, they shock like a thundercloud and ride with lightning. Get it together, you know ain't nobody better. Bring heat than cold weather. You better put on a sweater, you better just let it go when all come and attack. Sit back, relax, let's tell them it's on tap.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Yep.
Still no sound?
Nothing?
Nothing?
Sound? Hello?
Nothing?
No?
Are we getting sound, folks?
Mic check. Any sound? Anyone?
Mic check.
Anybody?
Bueller?
Ladies, can you tell us whether we're getting sound or not?
Bueller? I don't think they're getting sound.
They're not getting
I'm
sound.
not thinking so.
No.
No?
Okay. You got sound, Allison?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
She said yeah.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
No sound.
All right.
All right.
So
we're
we're
good.
good to go.
We're good to go.
Well, after some
right.
technical difficulties,
All right.
welcome to
We're good to go.
episode 101 of Sports on Tap. I am Chris Scott, alongside Joe Waddell and Eric Anderson. Fellas, how are we?
I'm good. I have to answer this phone call real quick. So I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. You guys talk amongst
Good.
yourselves. for a
Episode
minute.
101 is off to a hell of a start. I love it.
Work calls to start tonight.
Work calls to start tonight. This is amazing.
Oh, man.
I absolutely love what's going on right now. We couldn't get any sound, and Joe's got to take a work phone call. You know, it's what it is. This is live radio,
Yeah.
everybody.
Everything was down and everything's back up?
Yeah, right. But it all happens at the same time. Of course it does, because why the hell wouldn't it? Are you good to go, buddy?
Good to go.
All right, good
All
to
right.
go. All righty.
That was a phone call telling me there's sound now.
She's saying YouTube doesn't have sound.
Oh, YouTube doesn't have sound.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, great. That's great.
Yep.
I don't know why.
I don't either.
It wouldn't have sound. Why would YouTube not have sound?
Maybe
That
turn it
sucks.
up. How about that?
Shit. Well, we're gonna have to roll and
Yeah.
figure it out later.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, we'll roll on.
Yes, we will. So there's plenty of topics we can get into. And I know, obviously, one of the bigger ones you wanted to get into was the NFL, I guess, mess, if you want to call it, after the Bengals-Bills game.
Yeah.
And what the NFL decided to do with that, which I kind of think we all thought was going to happen, is that they were just going to call it a no contest.
Yeah, and to me that when you look at it, I know everyone wants to say, DeMar Hamlin's life is more important. This shouldn't matter. And you're right. You're right. In the end, DeMar Hamlin's life was more important.
Yep.
But there are still other things that you need to figure out, right? I mean, you are a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has question marks behind its refs. Question mark, and we'll get to that later. Question marks behind, and we get to that almost every show on how bad the refs are. But
That'll come up during the Lions portion of this.
yes, there's question marks behind, are games fixed? Is it rigged? So when you already have those question marks, and you already have some of the stains that the NFL has on it, like trying to start that game 5 minutes after DeMar Hamlin was carted off.
And
the
Joe
field.
Buck has doubled and tripled down on this.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
He's sticking to his guns on this one, which you know what? Good for him, man.
Good. I'm glad. And stick to your guns, because if that's what happened, then that's what happened.
Right.
Don't let the NFL bully you.
There's no reason for him to lie about that.
No, there isn't. None at all. So I just think the way they handled that was piss poor. I think the way they handled it at the beginning of trying to start the game 5 minutes after he was carted off the field, after he died on the field, was piss poor. I think their handling of it in the days afterwards was piss poor, in the fact that there was no communication about what might happen, what could happen, what's going to happen. And then all of a sudden it just is declared that you're going to declare the game a no contest, and you're going to change the rules mid-season when there's already a rule in place for this. It was collective bargained. There's already a rule in place. It's called the winning percentage. If a team does not finish a game or does not play a game, it goes to winning percentages instead of record, overall record. There was already a way to handle this.
Right.
And instead they had the league vote on a new way to handle it mid-season for no reason. Not to mention, that game had so many implications. You should have made arrangements to play that game, even if it was after week 18.
You could have done that. Move the Super Bowl back, or eliminate the week. There's the 2 weeks between the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
There's already a week in
What's the
between
problem
the
here?
Super Bowl that you could have fitted in.
That extra week between the Super Bowl, the conference championship game, and the Super Bowl is useless anyways.
Yeah,
It's useless.
It's pointless, and the fact that you also could have done, you could have had the NFL, you could have had the NFC playoffs start this weekend, and then had that game take place this weekend. Then the AFC playoffs would take place the next weekend, and then you pick up from there with all of them. So you still cut down that week, but you do it in a different way. You just would have had the NFC playoffs happen this weekend, along with the Bills-Bengals game. The next weekend will be the AFC playoffs with the Bills and Bengals in it.
Right.
And then you pick up from there by doing both conferences from there.
The NHL did this a couple years ago when they were in the bubble.
There's ways they could have done it.
Or not in the bubble, but
Yeah,
when the playoffs started, there were
Yeah.
still like regular season games that
Yeah.
had to be played,
And they played them.
and they played them.
So
there's precedence for this.
there are things you could have done other than just declare a no contest and then vote in a new rule when there's already a rule in place. Which to me, I look at the whole way that the NFL handled the entire
Right.
situation, and it's fucking piss poor completely all the way around.
It is, because now, say if Buffalo and Kansas City meet in the AFC Championship game, which obviously there's a possibility of that happening,
Yeah.
Yes.
then they're going to play it at a neutral site. So that's going to mean,
which is dumb.
because that's going to mean that
Yeah.
with KC having the number 1 overall seed and Buffalo having number 2, and they meet in the conference championship game, that means Buffalo is not going to play a true road game. They're not.
No.
No.
Because you get your 2 home games, and then the conference championship game you're going to play at a neutral site. That's not a true
Right.
road game.
Right. And then
Because you know what's going to happen if that's a true road game. It's going to be Bills Mafia everywhere.
yeah.
So it's going to feel. I mean, granted, Kansas City fans are going to travel well also, but
Well, yeah,
it's
but-
not going. They're not going to have the advantage of it being a true home
of
game.
being a true home game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, again, there was ways that could have handled it, and I think the whole way that they handled it from beginning to end was fucking awful.
Yeah, but this is what the NFL does. Since when did they ever handle anything properly?
And that's what I mean. You're not wrong.
No.
And what I don't understand is when you have a rule already in place for this,
Right.
why are you voting on weird shit?
Yeah. I don't,
Determined
I don't
by winning
understand.
percentage. There's already a fucking rule in the rule book. If a team or if a game doesn't get played, and a team has less games than other teams, you go by winning percentage.
Right.
And then
Period.
they were going to determine what home field for Baltimore, Cincinnati with a freaking coin.
With a coin
a
flip.
fucking coin? Are you serious?
With a coin flip. Because that makes sense.
I don't understand why this league, $1 billion entity, why this league constantly gets shit wrong.
There was no reason
I don't
to
get
do
it.
They don't try to get it right.
Yeah, they
They,
don't.
they can't be.
And I know they don't care if they get it right because they know you're going to watch regardless.
That's true. Yeah.
But just humor us. At least try to get it right. You know?
The one that really I'm just so dumbfounded by the fact that they had to vote in new rules when they already have a rule in their rule book for this.
right.
Like what? Why are you being extra? You know what I mean? Like what?
It's so extra.
What? There's no point in that. Like what?
So true.
I mean, there's already a fucking rule. Why are you being extra? That like you're going over and above to try and accommodate two teams,
Right.
That decided they. And again, some people are going to get pissed off at me for this, and I don't care. When was the last time I cared if anybody got pissed off at me? But I'm going to tell you the fact that the teams didn't want to play that night, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But then the teams decided they didn't want to play that game at all.
Yeah.
That's their choice. There is a rule in the rule book. They live by that rule. They made that choice that they didn't want to pick that game up at a later date.
But I still don't put this on the teams because they said they didn't want to play it. I put it on the NFL.
So, but again, yes, the NFL is at fault.
Yes.
But why are you trying to accommodate two teams and be fair to two teams?
No, in that point
by
I don't
changing rules.
At that point,
No.
I don't disagree with you.
They decided they didn't want to play that game afterwards.
Right.
Whether that's right or wrong, I would say, okay, great. That's your choice.
Yep.
We don't need to put in a new rule to make it fair for them. They decided not to play that game at a later date. So go with the rule that's already on the books. Why are we trying to this is one of those instances where you're like, all right, well, let's hand out participation trophies. No, that's what this is to me. This is a participation trophy decision. Like it is. And I know it's funny. I'm being funny, but that's the way. It's what it is.
Yeah, no, it is.
So that's my rant on that. The whole thing just pissed me off. And then and again, doesn't matter as much. But then when you bring in the bullshit that I had to deal with in a fantasy league for this, it's they're petulant children. And again, it's people in that league that want a participation trophy for everybody. It's people in that league that want that league to be cutthroat until being cutthroat affects them and fucks them in the ass.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, no, now we got to be fair to everybody. We got to be fair. Let's be fair.
I was going to ask you about
Let's
that.
be fair.
Since we talked about it last week, how that game was going to affect fantasy and betting.
You want to know how it affected?
I do want to know.
So in the league that you and I are in together,
Yes.
this is an acceptable choice. Dave decided to go with they take the points from week 18 for those players that didn't play. So you just take week 18 points.
Which we thought that was the right way to go.
So that's a right way. I don't think it's the right way. I think it's a right way.
Fair.
Like I'm okay with that because it's real points being scored.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a week later. That's fine. That's a decision you make in your league. The way most leagues handled it was you either got the points that were scored up until that point or you got zeros.
Right.
Because it's an injury that stopped the entire game. If your player gets injured in the first quarter of a game, do you get averages for that player for the rest of the game?
No, we talked about that last week.
You get
You don't.
zero.
No.
Right? So you don't accommodate that. Your player gets zero. This happened to be a player that got injured significantly, mind you, that affected the entire game. But that game started. All those players that you had in your lineup started.
Yep.
You take zeros. Sorry. Tough luck. That's called the heartbreaking truth.
Yep.
Okay? That's the way it works.
That's fantasy football. That's gambling.
We talked about
Sorry.
this. Fantasy football is gambling. If you start a guy that doesn't play because you didn't know about an injury, or you start a guy that was questionable that ends up not playing, you don't get averages for that fucking guy.
Left
You
the
get
guy in
zeros.
on his bye week.
Right, yeah. If you leave a guy, you don't get averages. You get a
Get
zero.
nothing.
You get a zero. Fantasy is gambling. And that's the way it works, man. Would it have sucked for the people that took zeros for those guys? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the way it works. Especially in a league that likes to talk about how it's a cutthroat league and it's for a lot of money. It's
we?
cutthroat. No, not that.
Oh, your
no.
big league.
Yeah, it's cutthroat. Right?
So how did your big league play out?
Yeah, they voted 7-5 to take averages for those players.
And you knew they were going to
Which is
do
a
that too.
I knew they were going to do that.
Such a joke.
It's a bullshit. It's bullshit.
It's terrible, dude.
And I'm going to take the chance on somebody listening that's in that league right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm the commissioner of that league, and as soon as I'm done doing up the averages and all the money for this league, I'm gonna send out the email to everybody and tell them all what they owe me when I get all that money. As soon as I get it all passed out and get it all done, I'm going to tell them, you find yourself a new commissioner, you find yourself a new team, because I'm done. And I've been in that league since I was 9 years old. I'm done. I'm not going to play in a league. I'm not going to play in a league where I don't agree with the way they put in rules. If it's my hard-earned money on the line and I don't agree with the way they're doing shit, no, fuck you. I'm not going to put my money on the line anymore. I'm done. I'm out. See ya.
Talked to you about like 4 months.
No, I'm done.
You said that last year.
No,
Not with that league, but
right.
in general,
No,
you're like, I'm only doing like 2 leagues this coming year.
No, I'm done with that one. I'm starting my own big money league.
All right.
Dan and I are starting it. Eric said he'd get into it. I'm starting my own big money league. I'm done with that one. I don't agree with their philosophy on the way they do things. I know it was only 7-5 votes, so I agree with
At least
four other
people, yeah.
other teams in that league.
Right.
And actually, one of the ones that voted for the averages did it reluctantly because he just didn't like taking the Week 18 scores as well. He would have rather had it be zeros, same as I did. There were several people that wanted it to be zeros. So the vote came down to 2 different ones. It was either take Week 18 scores or take the averages.
Yeah.
It got voted in 7-5 for averages.
Oh, all right.
Meanwhile, there was a lot of us that wanted it just to be zeros. So I agree with some people in that group, but the majority of them, no, I don't agree with them.
Oh, you know who somebody is I agree with?
Jason Stiltner from Flagstar
That's
Bank.
right. If you're a homeowner or looking to be a first-time home buyer, give Jason Stiltner, Senior Loan Officer at Flagstar Bank, a call today at 248-752-3631. Jason has great mortgage programs for first-time home buyers, including down payment assistance options and excellent interest rates. Again, give my guy Jason Stiltner from Flagstar Bank a call today at 248-752-3631 and get the excellent service you deserve. Flagstar Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 27546. I literally saw that out of the corner of my eye.
Oh, dude, you should have seen me. Just goes.
Just out of the corner of my eyes.
His eyes got real big.
I don't know if anybody can see me anymore.
Oh my god.
Well, there's that. There's that.
Oh, this show 101 is Jesus.
We did 100 episodes before this, and this one just has been off the rails from the start.
Well, it's kind of funny because like literally the first episode of this iteration of this podcast we did was an absolute abomination to podcast.
It was. It really was. Yeah.
And
So
then-
episode 1, abomination.
And then 101 is turning into an abomination.
This is the throwback episode.
Good Lord, man. Oh my god.
Episode 101, the
I love
throwback.
Just in case you forgot.
Right? Going back to our roots.
Going back to our roots of being a shit show.
Good Lord.
God bless America,
Oh,
man.
man.
I'm just going to stay down here, I guess. I'm not going to bother. I'm not going to bother trying to raise the chair.
Oh man.
I'm just going to do this show from the floor.
So moving on from that, what we just talked about, because I mean, at this point, there's nothing.
No, there's nothing.
There's people disagree with it, people don't disagree. Whatever your feelings are, it doesn't matter. The NFL doesn't give a shit what you think.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
They're gonna do their thing, and even for the fantasy aspect of it, like Joe, I'm with you on this one. I would be pretty pissed off too, especially in a big money league like that. I'd be big now.
That decision cost me thousands of dollars.
It's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And like Eric said, this is fantasy football, and like you said, it's gambling. Like you can't just, if you leave your guy in that's on a bye week, you can't just say, oh, just take his average. No, that's not how it works.
The way it works.
And if you play a guy that is questionable and ends up sitting out, you get 0 points, man. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
Yeah.
So that game
I think we've all done that at a certain point. We left the guy in that we didn't know if he was injured or whatever, etc. But
Yep.
you don't get that dude's average.
That game started.
Yeah.
Those players did not finish that game.
Right.
You get zeros. Or you get what they scored at that point. I would have even been cool with that. But to give out averages or give out, basically, it's like saying let's do a Madden simulation and see what those players score. And let's put those are made up fake points.
Oh, like that one I sent to you on like the screenshot I sent to you. They
Yeah.
Madden.
Yeah.
I was like, what are we doing
no,
here?
those are made again. It's like averages. Those are made up fake points.
Yes.
Like I said, so that whoever had Justin Jefferson in week 17, he got 2 points because he got shut down. Now, if you'd have taken his average for the year, it was like 27 points.
Right.
So in that case, why can't that guy take the average for Justin Jefferson?
Right.
I mean, his guy actually played, but if we're gonna do averages, why don't we just do averages for the entire fucking week? Or better yet, why don't we just draft our players and base every game off of projections for the whole season? We could actually play out the whole season before we even leave the draft room.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just do it based on projections.
Absolutely.
Made up fucking points, and then we don't even have to watch the games for the rest of the year.
Just go to somebody's house, draft your team, look at projections, get drunk, and be like, champion.
I win.
I
Yeah,
win.
right. By the time we add them all up, it's like, well, this guy wins.
Exactly. we go there, we drink some beers, we throw on any given Sunday, and then you call it. You're like,
And
champion. Done.
You add up the projected points, and you go, TJ Hoshmazode, championship.
Lock it up.
Lock it up. Championship.
So from one, I mean, we'll stick with the NFL because obviously getting to kind of what happened this weekend with the Seahawks and the Rams and obviously the Lions and the Packers. what I loved most of all about this weekend was that it was Quandre Diggs that ended your fucking season. That to me might be the most SOL like poetic justice thing ever.
Come on now, we're trying to shed the shit.
Oh no, it's still there, man.
That's- and
SOL
another game-
lives on, baby.
Another game gets played and they get shit on still.
That's another game gets played, and Lions fans get to cry about how the refs screwed them in a game they weren't even in.
And they definitely, they definitely did that. 100% they did that.
But that and talking about SOL, and I'm not going to shit on the team. They listen. They finished the season great. They have high hopes. They've got 2 firsts, 2 seconds.
Yep.
They have their picks from the last 2 years that are playing very well and looks like Brad Holmes is a draft guru at this point. I mean,
They're trending in the right direction.
They are absolutely. So I'm not going to shit on the team at all. I'm not even going to shit on the fans, other than the ones that were crying about that game that they weren't.
Those
in.
you should shit on.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%.
But
Because the Lions never lose a game. They don't just lose.
No.
It's always somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Now you beat the Packers. Now did the refs hose them?
there was crying before the game that the refs were going to hose them.
Yeah,
You should-
big time.
you
Oh,
should
you're
see
about
that.
to see what the NFL really thinks of the Lions
Yep.
and blah blah blah. But you beat them. Wait, hold on a second here. Wait, hold on.
So you're telling me
Yeah.
that the NFL fixed a game you weren't even in so that you would have no chance at getting into the playoffs, so that the night game meant less and they would get less viewership because only one team could make it into the playoffs as opposed to both. No, man. Listen, it's like I say all the time. We've talked about it on the show ad nauseum. It's the refs in the NFL are not good.
They are not good.
They're not good. That's the end all be all of it. They're not good. And they screw up calls in every single game. Not in favor of one team or another all the time. It's just they fuck up calls. And I didn't even see that game, so I can't even speak on it. I saw like the last 5 minutes of
the
overtime.
Seattle
I saw,
game? Yeah.
I saw a little bit of overtime, and I saw them win. I took a week off of football.
Yeah, you
I
were saying that,
I watched fuck all when it came to football. I watched a little bit of that game, and I watched the last play of the Detroit game because I was texting somebody and they said you got to turn it on. They're going for it on 4th down. It's either win or give it back to the Packers and see if they can drive down. I was like, I'll turn it on. Turn it on just in time to see where they were, and made a text that said I would kick the field goal, put you up by 7, and then he throws the pass. And it's a complete pass, and they win the game. And I was like, well, there that is then. But I'm telling you, I would have kicked the field goal, and I would have went up by 7.
Yeah.
That means they have to drive all the way down the field, not just for a field goal. They have to drive all the way down the field. They have to go all the way down there, and they have to get a touchdown and get the extra point. And, at that point in time, they were up by, 4? So it
Yep.
still would have had to have been a touchdown.
Yeah, you still had to go all the way down.
But I still would have – I personally would have kicked the field goal.
I didn't even watch the fourth quarter. I went to bed after the third quarter. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this game.
I didn't make it that
but
far.
like as it turns out, it was a great call. It won them the game, and it meant they basically sent Aaron Rodgers packing.
Yep.
And by all accounts, after the game, from what he said to
I don't know who it was. But
Jameson Williams.
Yeah,
He said
keeping this
Jameson
place.
Williams said, "Can I get that jersey?" And Aaron Rodgers said, "No, I'm going to keep this one, bud." So to me, that shows that this is he thinks this is his last game as a Green Bay Packer.
Yeah.
Whether it's because he's completely retiring or whether because he's going to move on to another team.
He's not going out like that.
I didn't think so either.
But to me, that says that's his last game as a Green Bay
That
Packer.
I will agree
Yeah.
with you. I don't think he's retiring. I think that is his last game as a Packer because he doesn't want to go out like that.
I can imagine he doesn't. I wouldn't put it past him. He's a quirky dude. Maybe he's finally hit the point where he's like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah,
His,
he could. I
his
mean,
hometown
it's
team
a
might have
possibility.
a QB opening next year. I hear San Francisco might have a QB opening next year.
No, they got a quarterback playing pretty good.
Purdy, I like what you did there. Well played. Nicely done, sir. Nicely done. So Vegas is gonna be looking for a quarterback.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Because they basically all but cast away Derek
I
Carr.
said
Right.
your services are no longer needed here.
There's a lot of stink about maybe Brady heading there though too.
Yeah, I hear that.
There,
too.
there
Even
has
though I
been
don't,
some.
I don't know why.
I mean, at this
Josh
point in time,
McDaniels.
He looks, but he looks hit this year.
Brady.
Yeah.
yeah. And Josh McDaniels is a fucking idiot too. So
Well, one of your favorite coaches got fired.
a couple of them.
Kingsbury, he gone.
Kingsbury, I've been calling for him to
Yeah,
get let
that-
go for a while.
Yeah.
Lovie Smith, he gone.
Yeah.
I can't believe what the Texans did.
I don't agree with that one. But
Listen, I agree with it in the sense that Lovie Smith is not a very good head coach.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm just
Oh.
talking about literally you had the number 1 pick.
Oh, yeah.
And you
Well, to be honest with you, maybe Lovie Smith got fired for that because he
that's
won that
my-
game.
my sense of it is he knew he was gone already before that game was even played. So he said, well, fuck you guys.
I'm playing to win.
Yeah.
So I look at that as basically they put Lovie Smith in there as their head coach, knowing he's not very good as a head coach, knowing they wanted to get a high draft pick. So him being fired doesn't surprise me.
I mean, he did take a team quarterback by Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl.
All right.
I'm just saying, man.
well,
Yeah, on pure defense. Let's be honest. I know.
It was still
I know.
quarterback by Rex Grossman, man. Just saying.
Well, the sun shines on a dog's ass some days.
But yeah, I'm watching that game. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you trying to
What
win
are
this
you
game?
doing?
And meanwhile, Bears fans are going apeshit. They're like, yeah,
Oh yeah,
fuck yeah.
because they now have the number 1 pick.
yep.
And talk about the Bears. So the Bears, they have Justin Fields, who throughout the season got better and looked good as far as when they were able to actually use him proproperly. Chris, we discussed this for the first 5 fucking weeks.
nauseum. We talked about
For the
that.
first 5 weeks of the year, why are you using this guy? Why are you using these guys like that?
Right.
And then finally, they used him properly, and he looks like he could be a Jalen Hurts.
I can see that.
He could.
He's definitely got potential.
He could be that guy. He could be a Jalen Hurts type, and
Put some weapons around him.
but that's the whole
Yeah,
thing.
he doesn't have any.
They have the number 1 pick.
Yep.
They have some draft picks stocked up. They lost. They were 1-7 in 1-score games. They lost 7 games by 1 score. Right. So I mean, even with that shitty defense that they traded everybody away, they still were in games. Right. So if you get some draft picks, they're going to be one of my hot teams to pick to make a run next year and possibly be the Jacksonville Jaguars of this year.
My guess is they trade that first pick.
They might to get more picks.
I think they will. I think
they might to get more picks.
They need. There's so
They
many.
don't need
areas,
a quarterback.
No, but there's so many areas of need for that team.
They need a couple wide receivers.
They need wide receivers. They need
defense.
They need defense. I don't know how much they're going to have in cap space, but
but they have a ton of cap space.
then
a ton.
Well, you can address one side of the ball with your
with your cap
with
money.
your cap money.
But yeah, so that's going to be my. They're going to be my. Depending on how this offseason progresses, I'm looking at them as being my Jacksonville Jaguars of next year.
Who would have
where
thought
where
that?
Jacksonville went from.
Not me. I wrote him off. I did. I wrote him off for this year anyway. I wrote him off.
But Jacksonville went from worst to winning their division and making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Now again, it was only a 9-8 record. I get that, and they didn't look great doing it at times, but they did it.
Yep.
They did it.
They're not the only team with that bad of a record getting in the playoffs either.
Tampa Bay.
Well, yeah, it's true. Yeah, and
There's
the
somebody
Lions.
worse still.
Listen, the Lions were 9-8.
Yeah.
and they picked second in last year's draft. They were 9-8. They just didn't make the playoffs.
Right.
You know how big is that Carolina game now?
Oh, it's huge.
And that's why I go back to that to the Lions fans
disappointment.
bitching and complaining about what was going on in the Seattle-LA game. I'm like, well, here's an idea: don't get shut out against New England, and don't get curb stomped against Carolina.
Right.
Well, especially the Carolina game when you were in the driver's seat. You had the destiny in your hands.
Yeah.
and you got fucking pasted.
Well, they rushed for 5,000 yards.
Yeah.
against you in one
Yeah.
game.
So don't give me the nonsense that this call in this game totally fucked us. No, stop it. Stop with that bullshit.
Yeah. Now, in seeing some of it afterwards, because I didn't watch it, were some of those calls kind of horseshit in that game? I mean, yeah. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah.
Oh, they were terrible. So the unnecessary roughness is borderline. I think we all think. It's barely they each got 1 foot out of bounds, and he didn't try to get away from him. All Jalen Ramsey did was stand there. Mm-hmm. He just stood his ground. I saw nothing wrong with that.
That one's questionable.
That's very
Okay.
It was very subjective. Yeah.
Let's say, okay, you want to call that penalty, that's fine. DK
questionable.
Metcalf comes up, grabs him by the face mask. No call.
Yeah, that one they missed.
How is there no call?
They definitely missed that one.
Yeah.
And then the pick, you taunt the whole fucking sideline in front of the ref. The ref is standing right there. The ball is in front of him. The ref is where Chris is sitting. No call. I'm like, holy.
See, now that one I don't see as much in because you know how many times I see somebody get a pick and then hold the ball, or somebody gets a sack and they stand up and they do the home run swing and they start to like that kind of stuff. I don't see that much in. It was the grabbing of the face mask one for me was one of them, and then also that roughing the punter.
Oh, that was terrible.
That was when I watched that one. I like again didn't see it in real time. Watched it later on.
I saw it in real time,
and I'm looking at that going, wow.
Thrown into the kicker.
Like that's
like especially
That's questionable.
it was a freaking lineman. Like where the hell do you want him to go? Especially he was being pushed.
yeah.
Where do you want him to go?
Like what? Like he's being pushed and he has nowhere else
That's
to
a
go.
300-pound individual. Where the hell do you want him to go?
And he gets just
You know?
flung.
This isn't
into
the Matrix.
punter.
He can't just avoid.
Yeah, that
you
was
know?
that was another bad one. But again, it just goes to what we've talked about for years: is horrendous NFL officiating.
Well,
It's
and
terrible.
back to the taunting one.
And it's blatant. It's right in front of the official's face. And he's like, well.
The taunting one for me is I've questioned that for a while now because you see some things get called as taunting, and then you see other things don't. And the things that get called for taunting, you're like, what?
Oh yeah,
That's
Yeah, some of them are
That's
super
taunting?
petty.
and then you see other things that don't get called for taunting, and you're like, wait, what?
oh yeah.
You know,
I mean, not even that, but like some of the roughing the passer calls
Oh,
we've
yeah.
seen this year. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
The subjective calls to me, they need to rein those in, and one of the biggest ways they can get there, in my opinion, and I've been saying this for years now, make officials. You're a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Make officials full-time paid employees.
Yeah.
Don't have them had side jobs as lawyers
Right.
and teachers and doctors and whatever.
Now I did read something that this might be a thing this coming like for next season that they're going to
Full-time, full-paid.
Yes.
Not a side job.
Yes.
Oh, good.
But remember when they had all the issues with the rent-a-refs?
Oh God.
And they supposedly put all this money into the referee training programs and all this other stuff.
Yeah, but they all
It
still
never
have,
got any better.
and they all still have full-time jobs elsewhere.
Yeah.
And this is a part-time gig for them. Make it a full-time gig. Pay them pay them enough
Yeah.
for it to be a full-time gig. This is all they do. When they're not reffing games, they spend another 4 days of the week studying the rule book
And watching game film.
Seeing how their calls affected a game, how they can make those calls better. Having a coach in the room, a referee coach in the room, telling them what they should have done there, what they should have done here.
Yep.
This is what you did right. This is what you did wrong. Make them full-time paid officials and make that their full-time job. Done. It will get better.
It has to. There's no way it can't if you do that.
Right? And that's the way you can do it, in my opinion.
I think it's the only way you can do it. I mean, frankly, it's something that absolutely needs to happen because and not to mention, do that, but also have that eye in the sky as well, you know, where if something's kind of like, well, you know, we don't know, we didn't see it, etc., you can get buzzed down and be like, hey, you might want to take a look at this.
Well, and they've started to do that.
Yes.
They started to do that because there's some reviews that don't go like they don't have to challenge, right?
Right.
It just comes down from the upstairs and they go, that's not a catch.
Right.
There needs to be more of that too. There needs to be more of the eye in the sky or the eye from New York looking at plays, getting them right, so coaches don't have to challenge them. So you don't have to take a timeout or throw a challenge flag before the team runs the next play. Somebody in New York or upstairs, however you want to call it, can look at the play and go, nah, that's not a catch. That hit the ground. No. Or they radio down and say, you need to take another look at that. We don't think that's correct. We don't think that was a catch. Like it shouldn't rely on the teams to have to challenge things like that. And they're already getting to the point where they're incorporating that a little bit without them having to challenge it. They're just radioing down. There needs to be more of that.
No, I absolutely agree with you. Some of these challenges that you like have to do it, they have to waste the challenge on something. That's something that's like obvious. It's like, what are we doing here? You know?
Right. And yes, if you get both your challenges right, then you get to have a third challenge or whatever. But you shouldn't. Some of these you shouldn't have to challenge in the first place.
Yeah.
No.
And it shouldn't be on the teams to try and call out when the refs are wrong. No, it should be on other refs with the eye in the sky calling you out that you're wrong.
Right.
And then one other thing that needs to happen, refs need to have a post-game presser.
Absolutely they do.
Oh.
They should have to answer, same as the players, They should have to go to a post-game presser and answer for their mistakes, answer for their bullshit.
Every official in every sport should have to answer.
Absolutely.
100% they should. If the players have to do it, if the coaches have to do it, why don't the officials have to do it?
And when referees get fined or get disciplined, no, don't make that shit secret. Fuck you. Put that shit out in the open that you fined this ref because they got this call wrong, or that you disciplined this ref because they got that call wrong. Put that out in the open. Make it an open book so that people don't question that your refs have an ulterior motive.
You said it perfectly.
I agree.
I agree with you 100%. So another shambolic thing. I want to talk about your boy Mike Vrabel. Oh, dude, you lose 7 games in a row to end the season.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. But like, you don't get canned for that. To me, that's a fireable offense.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know how that guy didn't get shit canned. Like, immediately after like the season when the final game was over, like the next day, whatever, Black Monday or whatever they want to call it.
It absolutely should be.
Like that's just horrendous. Like, come on, like how? If I'm a Titans fan right now, I'm like, what are we doing here? You know, and I know you like the guy, and when Patricia was hired, I said no, I wanted Vrabel instead of Patricia, but I mean, you've kind of had your run now, man, and then you end it on this debacle. You frankly you should be fired for that.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain decisions that get made that you question. And do I think Vrabel's a good head coach? Do I think he's gotten more out of the Titans than what a lot of other coaches would have? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I do. But he seems to have worn thin or started making weird, stupid decisions.
Really?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's like, all right, man. You know, even as much as I backed him, I'm at the point now where I'm like, how does this dude still have a job?
It gets to a certain point where it's like, all right, man. Like,
yeah, how does this dude still have a job?
And then going to your Browns, they fired the defensive coordinator.
Good. That needed to fuck. How many times have I said that?
Numerous times.
Joe Woods needed to be fired a long time ago, last year.
So they fired the DC. I think they fired somebody else too. I forgot who it was, but Stefanski is still the head coach.
And from what I understand, he is also on thin ice with Haslam. I don't necessarily, from what I hear, he might not be fully safe. They might be mulling it over.
He's gone.
I hope so.
I hope Jim Harbaugh goes there.
Oh my god.
That would be
Stuck.
Oh god. I want to see Joe's head explode when Jim Harbaugh's named the head coach of the Cleveland Browns.
Oh god. I think I just had a stroke. That would be awful.
Left eye's twitching.
That would be
God, I'm gonna start grinding my teeth again.
like,
oh Lord.
that would be when we'd have to have like an emergency podcast. Just Joe go nuts for like an hour on the Browns hiring Jim
Listen,
Harbaugh.
honestly, if that happens, I will go live from my phone to just lambaste that. Like, no, I won't even take the time to come to the studio. I will just I will just go live on my phone on Sports on Tap, and no, please no, God no.
I heard he did have.
I tell you what though. No, go ahead.
Oh no, have it.
I am wearing thin with my Cleveland Browns fandom at this point.
Oh,
so and I'll explain why.
You got another team in mind?
I don't, and I'm not saying I'm gonna jump off the ship. I'm just like
the flag right behind me. We're more than welcome you, buddy.
I'm one of those people that, like, you know me. I'm not gonna have loyalty to a team just to have loyalty to a team, right? I become a fan of a team for certain reasons, and when those reasons are gone, this is 2023.
Yes.
We don't have. I'm trying to think of what year it is.
Yeah.
2020. Like, it's not 1980 where you just have a blind loyalty to a team. You give that team your money, and no matter what they do, no matter how bad they are, no matter how good they are, like, you just completely blindly support them, pay money, go to games,
So Lions
watch them on
honks.
TV.
So Lions honks.
Yes.
Got it.
So like this is so this is, you said it. He said it. I disagree with it.
I know you do.
I just agreed. I didn't say it. But yeah, so for me, with the Browns right now, I'm very pissed off. The fans right now have me where I'm looking at them like Lions fans because after that game against Pittsburgh, they did nothing but complain about the refs and how they lost that game because of the refs. I'm like, first of all, the team sucked this year. Head coach sucks. Defensive coordinator sucks. We got a $230 million rapist on the team. Like what?
That sucks.
That sucks. That didn't play very well.
Oh.
He had 2 quarters that were good. That's it. And you're paying him $230 million to do that. And you trade away a bunch of draft picks, so you have no future coming in. You have no young future coming in. I don't agree with many of the decisions that were made recently. The head coach, he needs to go. He had one good year, and it's been down ever since.
Yep.
And the one good year was underneath the quarterback that he fucking cast away for the $230 million quarterback. If you'd have built that team properly, you could have had a run for many years because you wouldn't have had to pay Baker that much money. He took you to an 11-5 record. He won a playoff game in Pittsburgh. You had a defense that was good. You had a running game that was good. If you just stockpiled some more picks behind that and put some more players in there for depth and better players, you would have been fine. But you made shitty decisions, and now you're looking at a shitty team at this point.
Well, not only is it a shitty team, but it's a shitty team that clearly had internal problems.
Yeah, and clearly does have a trouble.
Yeah.
Jadeveon Clowney basically before the season was even over said I'm looking forward to being done with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
And the Cleveland Browns said, well, you're done with us because you're not going to play the last game.
Yeah.
And Jadeveon Clowney was like, cool, thanks, that's what I wanted.
Really, I guess him and Garrett had beef, like big beef during the season. So I was like,
Well,
okay.
but Myles Garrett has beef with the fucking coaches
Which
too.
he should.
Which I'm glad for that. He's one of the only players on the team right now that I actually look at and I'm like, good, I like that. You are looking at the coaches the same way I am, the same way some of the fans are. They're fucking awful right now. So between the fans just being blindly supportive, and also blaming the refs, which again takes me back to my Lions days as being a Lions fan, and that just I have PTSD with that. I'm seeing all this shit. I'm like, no, God, no. And then the decisions that were made in the front office and with the head coach, I'm not happy right now. At all.
Nor should you be.
At all.
Yeah, nor should you be. But
you know how you would be happy?
how's that?
By calling at your service with Pat.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Looking to brighten up your home or commercial building? Give At Your Service by Pat a call today at 248-794-0008 for your free estimate. At Your Service by Pat specializes in home and commercial building cleaning. Services include roof and house cleaning featuring soft wash, which is a longer-lasting alternative to pressure washing. They also offer window cleaning, concrete cleaning, deck and fence restoration, gutter services, and more. So call At Your Service by Pat for your free estimate today at 248-794-0008. I thought you were going. I thought you were going to the Joe right. I wasn't ready for that.
So I was going to.
I wasn't ready for that.
I was going to, but I realized that my computer over here had timed out a little bit, and the read wasn't up. So I kind of had to kick it to you because I didn't have a read up.
Well, fair enough.
So
that happens.
Sorry.
That's all good. Well, speaking of something like wasn't ready for, didn't understand. This was a Jamal Williams of the Lions. You know how I love on Sunday Night Football how they do like the player introductions. They say like what college they're from, what high school they went to, or where they're from, what etc.
I enjoy that.
I do it, and frankly, I think all the broadcasts should do that. I really do, because I just think it's a cool part of the game. It lets you get to kind of know these guys like a little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
They show a little personality.
They do.
As Jamal Williams did.
But you're seeing it more and more now that players are starting to show more personality. Saying like the one guy said "body by Taco Bell," which I thought was hysterical. I'm like, that is glorious. Like honestly, for me, I'd just say Earth. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
Chris Scott, Earth.
Earth.
That's it. Just something like that. But so he on his intro during the Lions Packers game, he said Jamal Williams.
Hold on, I think I can play it here.
You got it? You got audio?
I got it.
Okay.
And I'm hoping the audio goes through. So hold on 1 second.
First swag Kazakage, leader of the hidden village of the den.
Yes.
So yeah.
First swag Kazakage, leader of the hidden village of the den.
I don't know what that is.
Kazakage, leader of the hidden village of the den.
All right, so
First swag Kazakage.
I'm trying. Like, what the fuck, Chris? I hope
I have it right here.
Okay.
It says Sunagakure, whatever, is known to be the hidden village of the wind. And one would presume that the hidden village of the den is the city of Detroit, like Ford Field, etc. I don't know. As soon as he said it,
Wow.
I literally go, what?
Yeah, Lady Gazagage, Hidden Village of the D.
Like it literally
What?
reminded me of it reminded me of the Key and Peele sketch. That's exactly what it reminded me of.
So the funny thing is, exactly what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
And
Which
I
is
didn't.
honestly one of the greatest sketches ever.
It's awesome. I didn't see it live, but I logged on to Facebook and I'm like, what the fuck is everybody talking about this shit that Jamal Williams did? So I looked it up and I'm like, the fuck did he just say? I played it like 8 times. I'm like, I still don't know what the fuck he just said.
No, I didn't either. But I was like, all right, man, do your thing, bro.
So
That's cool.
But it reminds me of.
Yes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dave Stassi, alongside Jeff Worthing, and welcome to the annual East-West Bowl, as we get ready to watch some of the best college players in the nation showcase their skills in a classic showdown between East and West. And there really are some characters on this year's squads, aren't there, Jeff?
That's right.
DeMarcus Williams, University of Georgia.
TJ Jackson, Wayne State University.
Tavarius Smith King, Merrimack College.
Todd Royal, Smoochie Wallace, University of Miami.
Desquarius Green Jr., University of Notre Dame.
Ibrahim Moises, University of Tennessee at Chattanooga.
Jack Marius Tack-Theratrix, Michigan State University.
The Isaiah T. Billings Clyde, Coastal Carolina University.
The Jasper Probencrux III, South Carolina State University.
Leoz Maxwell Gillios, East Carolina University.
Javaris and Lamar, University of Middle Tennessee.
Wayne Shower Handle, University of Southern Mississippi.
Hingle McCringleberry, Penn State University.
Hingle McCringleberry is my favorite one by far.
It's awesome.
So there was a lot more to that, but I'm not going to keep playing it.
Yeah.
But you get the point. That's to me
That's exactly what I thought of when I heard it. I'm like, that's a Key and Peele sketch if I've ever heard it.
I thought he was trying out for the Key and Peele show.
And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, is that some like sort of like Black Panther, like Wakanda something or other? I don't know.
I know it's not that because I
I've
like
never-
Black Panther and
I've never
that
seen Black
stuff.
Panther, so I have no idea. But
No, I thought it. I actually thought it was some sort of like Pokemon thing or something, some
Okay.
sort of weird like gaming thing. I didn't know, but I couldn't understand the words. The Hitagazagage, Hidden Village of the D. What?
Yeah, exactly. What?
Huh?
But no, I love that though. It's showing personality from these guys, especially obviously they're wearing face masks, so it's hard to actually see them and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I love that. I think they should do that for every broadcast. I really do.
So you get to see in those intros
Yeah.
their personality, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You don't have to like their personality, but they get to show their personality. They get to show their face and get out there more. Because you're right, Chris. They're wearing helmets and face masks the entire fucking time. So.
And frankly, just do this for all the sports. Why not do it? I mean, yeah, obviously all the other sports are the hockey players wear helmets, but you can still see their face.
Right.
And even obviously baseball players' hats and all that stuff. But do it like your starting lineup in baseball. Do that for the starting lineup in baseball. Or starting pitcher or whatever. Do it for the starting 5 in hockey and basketball. I think that'd be great. Why not do it? But leagues won't do that. I don't understand why. Maybe NBC has like a trademark on that. Like that's the only network that can do it.
Yeah, I don't know. But, I mean, to me, it makes sense. I enjoy it for the most part.
Yeah.
Except for when like shit like that happens and I spend I spend too much time trying to figure out what the fuck they just said. But yeah.
Well, speaking of what the fuck, the national championship game last night.
Oh my god!
I literally didn't watch a single second of it. I'm like, for
missed
what?
anything.
So I watched about 10 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And then turned on a movie, and that was it.
Yeah.
At the same time that I was about to turn it off, Brooks texted me and was like, "This is ridiculous. I'm going to turn this off." And then like not long afterwards, he's like, "I stopped watching that fucking game."
Oh yeah. Like I went on the Twitter.com and I saw what the score was and was like, yeah, that's about right.
Yep.
That's about right. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that game. Is again, I didn't have any interest in it even before the game started. So I'm like, I'm just not even gonna bother watching it. And then obviously seeing the score, I'm like, yeah, I think I made the right call on this one.
You know who caused that back alley abortion of a national championship game?
Jim Harbaugh.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Because
you mean next Browns head coach Jim Harbaugh?
Would they? Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby? Don't you put that evil on me.
I'm gonna speak this into existence.
God, you know what? I'll be honest with you. I would be a mixture of emotions. I would just be just a glass case of emotions.
Oh, God.
I would love the fact that he was not at Michigan anymore.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that he's gone to 2 fucking playoff games in a row. But then I'd be devastated he was going to the Browns. I'd be like, yeah, no. Why can't I have nice things?
I'm absolutely going to speak this into existence. I'm going to make this happen.
God.
Just because I want to see your head explode when it does.
And it will.
God. Yeah, it absolutely will. It will. I don't want that. I don't need that.
Well, why not?
That might be if that happens, that would probably be the last straw for me. I would be done with being a Cleveland Browns fan.
Well, obviously.
I'd be done. I'm not.
You don't think he'd be a better NFL coach than a college coach?
No.
Yeah. I mean, he did take Colin Kaepernick to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and he's taken Michigan to the playoffs 2 years in a row too, and then shit the bed. So, yeah.
Yeah. Fair enough.
0-6 in bowl games.
0-6. Yeah, is that bad? I feel like that's bad.
I feel like that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad.
I feel like that's pretty bad.
Does the 1-7 total make it better?
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
No.
Oh God. Yeah, that national championship game was bad, and who's got to be kicking themselves more right now? Ohio State, who would have trounced TCU.
Yep.
And actually had Georgia on the ropes, and blew that game, or Michigan, who blew the game against TCU and would have put up a better fight against Georgia. Maybe not a great fight.
I still think Michigan would have got blown out.
Yeah.
I think they would have. It wouldn't have been as bad of a game, but they would have. They'd have lost.
I think Ohio State caught them on a bad night.
I think Ohio State's got to be kicking themselves because they had them. And Ohio State could have had a national championship right now because there's no way they don't beat TCU.
Oh, I think they would smoke TCU.
Yeah.
And that's really the only joy I take out of all of this is how Ohio State lost. It's like you literally had them. You had them beat.
Yep.
And fucking kickers, man. Fucking kickers. And you kicked in a dome. And you still missed it.
Yeah. Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
Couldn't happen to a better university.
You know what else is something to love?
What's that?
The Joe Wright Group.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
Whether you're buying or selling your home, now is the time to take advantage of having the expertise of 4 real estate agents for the price of 1 on your side. Make the right move with the right group, the Joe Wright Group. Give Craig Joe Wright, Mike Bush, Shane Wilson, and Alex DeRocher a call today at 248-535-4750 to fulfill all of your real estate needs.
Actually, they are pretty good. There you go. I can confirm that they are pretty good.
You can confirm?
I can confirm that because the house we're doing this podcast from, through them, they worked their asses off to make it happen, and damn it, they did. So
damn it, they did.
They did. They were outstanding. So if you're in the market for a home, by all means, give them a call.
Give them a call.
So,
all right. What's next?
I don't know. What do you got?
I mean, I got nothing. Are we doing picks?
We can do picks.
Picks?
All right. Picks.
How do we do on the picks last week?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Let's do the music first, and then I'll get into the picks after that.
This segment is brought to you by the Joe Wright Group.
It's time!
Okay. So last week's picks, I went 4-5. Both of you went 5-4. Once again, I am last. I can't pick well this year. I don't know. It's really fucking bad.
You know it's bad when I'm doing better than you.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's bad for me. You're doing really well.
I know.
So my record on the year is 110, 132, and 7.
Yeah.
Eric, yours is 100, 119, and 7. And Chris, yours is 139, 113, and 7.
That's right.
That you have in the last few weeks, you have done very well.
Yeah,
and
baby.
you're significantly above 500. I will make a guarantee right now. You will not finish below 500 in picks for the year.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's only fucking
I know
10 games left to pick or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so.
I know. I'm not going out on a limb here. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I was hoping we would gloss over that part, but that's fine.
Well, obviously a significantly smaller slate than we generally have for this week. Because,
That's what she said.
Exactly. Because it's college is over, so it's all NFL playoff picks. Super wild card weekend.
It's all niffle.
So are they doing one of the for this weekend? Are they doing one of the Nickelodeon games? Do you know?
I don't know, but that's a good question. I think they probably will again.
Yeah.
I think it might actually be the Saturday night game.
Okay.
Which will be Jacksonville and the Chargers.
I think it's we've talked about this before. I think it's an absolutely tremendous idea to do that. I really do. Honestly, they should do it for all the playoff games.
They should do it for all the primetime games.
Yeah.
I think every primetime game should
So
have
all the primetime games on
Nickelodeon.
obviously NBC or ESPN, whatever, or Amazon, and then throw the game on Nickelodeon.
The
so the kids can
Nickelodeon, you
watch
get the
it.
Nickelodeon
Yeah.
version of it every
Genius.
primetime game. It gets you more fans. It gets the youth more involved in watching
Absolutely.
football. And like I said, when they first started doing it, was just 2 years ago when they first started doing it.
Yeah.
For me, it's great because my daughter enjoyed watching it.
Right. And the
So-
commentators are having fun with it.
Right. And so I got to watch football, which is what I love doing. My daughter doesn't necessarily like me watching football because it takes a little bit away from my playing with her and spending time with her, which sucks. So sometimes I make the decision not to watch. But with those games, I can watch and she can watch. She has fun with it. I enjoy watching football. We're enjoying it together.
Right.
Which is just good all around for your product. So more of those games will be great.
Well, I absolutely agree. I think it's a genius idea. I just wish they do it more. I don't understand why they don't do it more, but
I'm really hoping we've seen some Nickelodeon stuff where Nickelodeon does almost like a primetime show and they recap all the games and do all that stuff. So Nickelodeon's getting more involved with the NFL. So
Good.
I'm
As they should.
hoping it's going to continue in the right direction and they're going to put more games on there so that more people like me can enjoy games with their child and not
it
take
just
away
makes too
from
much sense.
not take away from the time you spend with them.
it makes too much sense.
Right, and I have to choose between two things that I really enjoy. I enjoy spending time with my daughter, and I really enjoy watching NFL football.
Right.
So I wouldn't have to choose as much. You know, it would be we could enjoy it together and spend time doing something together, which would be great.
Yes.
So
With that being said, let's get to the picks this week for Super Wildcard Weekend, I guess is what they're calling it. Because what's great about it?
There's 3 night games.
Yeah, and there's one on Monday, which is fucking great.
Yeah. Somebody was complaining about that the other day at work, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Now, do you have Monday off?
Oh yeah, we do. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, as do I. So I'm very excited about
Yeah.
that.
I wish we had Tuesday off because I want to stay up late and watch
Well,
that game. But
Saturday or Sunday is going to be awesome because it's I know you don't
3
care
games.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, because Arsenal Tottenham play at 11:30. That's like Michigan Ohio State.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But like with English hooligans. And then Buffalo Miami's at 1. So it's like fucking sweet. Big Sunday for me.
So you're going out to watch that?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided yet. Maybe not. We'll see.
I tell you what, if you go somewhere, what time is that soccer game?
11:30.
If you go somewhere to watch that soccer game,
We're good. If we go anywhere, it'll be McShane's.
so if you're gonna go there, let me know.
Yeah.
I am gonna end up working that day, but I'll go watch that game with you and then go to work.
Oh.
It'd almost be like me going to do our Sunday show and then going to work. So.
Right. Exactly. I will definitely let you know about that. Anywho, just getting into the picks. First up, we got the Seahawks taking on the Niners. San Francisco's laying 10.
Right. Give me the Niners.
Yeah,
they're gonna crush them.
I'm gonna roll the Niners as well. Looking at Seattle in that game against the Rams at home, and I know it was bad weather. I get it, but you still look like absolute dog shit. You're lucky to get out of there with that win.
The Niners with their defense.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy is playing pretty good for a third-string quarterback.
Yes.
And that offense and defense, they just keep rolling, man. They ended the season on such a winning note, and you would have never known that they lost their top 2 quarterbacks.
Right.
I mean, the way that team is playing with the run game, they got CMC, Elijah Mitchell's back. they're clicking on all cylinders, and Purdy actually has a good rapport with Kittle, which is great for them.
Yeah.
So if you get him more involved, you got Ayuk, you got Deebo Samuel coming back, who's going to be healthy coming back for the playoffs.
Yep.
That's huge. Seattle ended the season on a down note and kind of backed into the playoffs.
Yeah.
They definitely backed into the playoffs.
Yes, they did.
San Francisco is rolling.
It was funny. When we were watching the game when they had the original kick to win the game, and Lady Friend can confirm
And
this.
doinked it?
Oh, yeah, Lady Friend can confirm this. And I said before he kicked it, I go, he's going to miss wide right. And he's like, no, he's not. I'm like, yeah, he's going to miss wide right. Sure enough, doink. I was like, I told you.
It just wasn't wide right.
No, but it was
wide right.
It was wide right. Yes,
A little bit.
It wasn't quite a double doink.
No.
Which is still one of the best things ever. I love
Oh,
that.
it's a double doink.
It's a double doink. All right. Eric, who are you rolling with?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. All right. San Francisco across the board.
Did I talk you into that one?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm honestly not surprised.
Oh, they've been on fire.
And
Seattle looked like dog shit
Yeah,
even though they
did.
won.
And that was your pick at the beginning of the season to go to the Super Bowl was the Niners. So
And I still think they have a great shot at doing it.
they absolutely do.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
Team
who would
looks
have
a little bit different this way, but yeah.
But
still.
who would have thought that? Originally it was Trey Lance, and we all kind of said we thought maybe it would end up being Garoppolo, and they'd still go. And I'm like, listen, I like either one of those guys taking this team to Super Bowl because you don't. The rest of this team is built.
Yeah.
Hold on. To quote the Lions fans about their tight end White or Wright or whatever his name is, they're built different.
yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, like the two teams that me and you picked are
Yeah.
the two best teams in the NFC.
yeah.
Like I picked Philadelphia and you picked San Francisco, so it's trending toward them in the NFC Championship.
It
game.
very much is trending towards that, and I think that would be a great NFC Championship game if it happens.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, San Francisco, I don't when the top two quarterbacks went down, when Garoppolo went down, I would have never said
Right.
that I still think they're getting the Super Bowl. But they just rolled.
They
man.
did,
yeah.
It's insane to me.
I think that CMC trade is as much as I was down on him just because of all the injuries, but he stayed healthy, and if he stays
Yeah.
healthy, you see what he can do.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of a game changer for them. So
Absolutely.
moving on, the Chargers laying 1 taking on Jacksonville.
I'll let you guys go first.
I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Ooh. I'm also going to take Jacksonville. And you know why? Because I think the Chargers coach is a fucking idiot.
Well, he is.
He is. He very much is. That's part of the reason why I'm taking him. I'm taking Jacksonville as well because the Chargers are just not. They just can't put everything together. They have
what do the kids say now? They're mid. They're mid.
Okay, they're mid. I don't even know. I don't even know what the
I
kids
just
say.
I just heard this term the other day on a podcast. I'm like, oh, okay, that's
they're-
average.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
Just
What
say
does that
average
mean?
then.
Well, and also, their coach is extra.
He is extra.
So why? That's twice in one episode.
right.
Yeah.
Why would you be playing in a game that means nothing to you? You could not move up or down seeds at all. Why are you playing Austin Eckler, Mike Williams, and your franchise quarterback into the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Like I said, I think he's a fucking idiot.
What are you doing?
And I think he's going to do something incredibly stupid to cost the Chargers the game this week. I can totally see it happening. So
He makes boneheaded decisions
He
all the
does.
time.
He
And
does.
he's one of those coaches where you're just like, man, at what point in time are you going to fuck it up for your team?
and not to mention Jacksonville's head coach, which I know you're a big fan of Doug Peterson.
As a quarterback whisperer,
Me and Joe got into an argument about this like about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
as a quarterback whisperer, and as an offensive coordinator, love the guy.
Yes,
I just don't think he's a good head coach.
fair, but he does have a Super Bowl win, and he does have experience over the Chargers with Brandon Staley.
Yeah.
Is his name?
Yeah.
yeah. So that's another reason why I'm taking Jacksonville because he's been
Yes,
there.
he's been there.
He knows what to do. So
Yeah, and I just want this Jacksonville ride to continue. I don't know why, but I really am on board with them, man. Like I like Trevor Lawrence because partly because so many people cast him aside when he got drafted number 1 overall, and they're
Yeah.
like, he'll never pan out. He's never going to make it. He's going to be a flop.
Well, if you look at it, though, the way he was set up to flop.
Yeah, with
Oh,
the
yeah,
Mervin.
yeah.
Right, exactly. But you see now with a head coach offensive coordinator, who can utilize him the right way.
Would you take him as Cleveland Browns head coach right now?
over Stefanski?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah,
yes.
I was going to say, I don't think that's
Yes.
a no-brainer.
Yes. And I don't even like the guy as a head coach, but yes.
Okay.
Because I trust the fact that he gets the best out of his quarterbacks and his offenses.
All right.
I just don't think he makes the great decisions as a head coach in general. But, yeah. I
Well,
would take-
Jacksonville, you can thank me and Frank because that blow up between us, they took fire like ever since that happened. So
Well, and they were on fire.
You're
pretty
welcome,
much-
Jacksonville.
They were on fire before that. That Detroit game was the one outlier
Right.
in their last 10 games,
Yeah.
really, is the one game where they didn't look good at all.
Right.
And even in the games they lost, they still looked like they were putting the pieces together. That defense still looked like they were going to be good. That offense still looked like it was clicking enough, and they were putting pieces together. So I like that story. I want that to continue.
Yes, I concur with that. Next up, we got the Dolphins taking on the Bills. Buffalo's laying 9.
Give me Buffalo. -9. That's a lot, but Miami is they squeaked in at the end there. They lost a ton of games in the second half of the season. Their head coach is another one who I just don't understand his thought process half the time. I'm not sure who their quarterback's going to be in
That's
this
the
game.
big one for me. I don't
Yeah.
know who's going to be playing quarterback for them.
If it was Tua, I might take Miami because they keep it within 9. But again, even if it's Tua, is he healed up from the multiple concussions he's had throughout the year? I don't know what it's going to be, and I don't trust that Miami Dolphins team without a true leader back there at quarterback.
I think Mostert's hurt too.
And
He's got a broken thumb. I think he had to get surgery on it.
oh, okay, that doesn't
Right.
weigh out too much to me. He can still angry run with the cast on
Yeah.
because that's all that dude does is angry run.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally all he does. He's got one go-to move, and it's angry run.
Right.
That's it. But, yeah, give me Buffalo -9.
I'm going to take Miami simply because of that run game. Because Buffalo, they can't stop it.
That's true.
They cannot stop the run. They can't. That's their biggest Achilles heel is they cannot stop the run. So I'm going to take Miami getting the points.
Nope, I'm staying with Buffalo.
Okay.
You are entering these, right?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Just making sure.
Next up, we got the Giants taking on the Vikings. Minnesota's laying 3.
God.
Give me the fraudulent Minnesota Vikings to win this game.
What time is this game being played at?
4:30.
Give me the G-Men.
Why
Yeah, I think
does the time of day matter?
You realize Kirk Cousins' record when it's at 1 o'clock, 4:30, and 8 o'clock, right?
Well, I know his primetime games
His
are
4:30. His
fucking
4:30 record's not very good either.
Really?
No.
Well, he's an early riser, and
I guess.
and
And that is all.
and falls asleep throughout the day.
I guess.
He's like the old people that go out to dinner.
4:30 dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm also
Early
going
bird-
to take the Giants.
Early bird special.
All right. Joe's on Minnesota Island with that one.
Yeah, I trust them more than I do the Giants. They've been there. They've been
That's
there.
fair. Next up, we got Baltimore taking on Cincinnati. Cincinnati's laying 7.
Give me Cincinnati in this
I hear
one minus.
I hear Lamar's coming back.
I do hear the same thing. I don't know, man. I guess I just trust that Cincinnati team to play better than Baltimore at this point. They've blown so many leads. They've had double-digit leads, blown them. I don't know. I could be wrong on this one. They could keep it within 7. I definitely see Cincinnati win this game. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's more than 7.
I'm going to go with Baltimore. I'm saying that with the fact that I think Lamar is going to be back. I'm going to go with Baltimore in this one.
Yeah, I'm also going Baltimore if Lamar's back for sure. They'll keep it within that 7.
Like kind of like
They
what you
won't
said.
win.
So I'm on 2 islands now.
Well, it's kind of like you said. Like a lot of games that the Ravens have blown the lead, but the winning team ends up it's like a field goal game. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah, that's true.
whatever.
Yeah.
And the final game of the wild card weekend slate is Dallas laying 2.5, taking on Tampa Bay.
Give me the Cowboys.
I'm leaning that way because I just don't trust that Tampa Bay team and the way they've looked.
No.
They look bad. Tom Brady looks bad. They finally put it together in week 17. Had a big outing with Mike Evans getting 3 long touchdowns, but I just don't. They've been so bad I see Dallas being able to put this together and win this game
I'm rolling
by a
with-
field goal.
I'm rolling with the Bucks.
I mean, you're probably the smarter out of the three of us because honestly, it's the rule of thumb is don't bet against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
No, it's just my hatred for Dallas. It's simple as that.
Okay. Well, I know you hate Tom Brady too, so
I do hate Tom Brady. Yeah.
yeah.
Fair enough.
So you're choosing Tom Brady over your
My hatred for the Dallas Cowboys is
Is
significantly
more-
stronger than my hatred for Tom Brady.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, all right then.
Understood.
Yes. I've hated the Cowboys my entire life. I've only hated Brady since his first year in the league.
All right.
Yes. I liked him at Michigan.
All right. Those are the picks.
Yes, those are the picks. So we have this beer that we're trying in our Taste This segment. It is called Hazy is Lazy American IPA. It is from Haymarket Beer Company,
Okay.
and it is 6.6% alcohol
All
by
right.
volume. So
All right, motherfuckers, let's take a timeout and taste this.
this could be good. This could taste like every other IPA I've ever had in my life. We shall find out here shortly.
All right.
Hopefully it doesn't explode like every other fucking beer we've ever.
Let's do it. By the way, this
Success already.
Yeah. By the way, this segment is brought to you by Bald Man Entertainment. If you're looking for a DJ for any occasion, if you work at a bar, if you are having a wedding, if you're having a graduation party, anything at all, Bald Man Entertainment is your way to go. One of the best DJs in the business.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
You are welcome. And Joe, this be yours.
Always makes me nervous passing that.
It
over top
does.
of the computers.
Oh, that's so glad we got
Every
like the
time.
smaller cups because it's like, obviously it's easier to handle, etc.
Ooh,
It's got a nice aroma.
it does.
Yeah, all right.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, fancy. Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
Waft it first, then
Yeah.
just
Take a little.
little waft, then down the hatch.
I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
I like that a lot.
That's very good.
That has the hoppiness that I love
Yeah.
in IPAs.
It has the hoppiness, but it also has that little bit of a
does.
citrus.
I
Yeah.
dig that.
Enough, well, not even a little bit. It has a decent amount of citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
behind it. That reminds me
That's really good.
of Drippa
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
It's not quite Drippa.
No, because
No.
it's a different kind of IPA.
but it's on the same level.
That's good.
That's very good.
Yeah, I'm like
You got to play that soundbite, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That is remarkably fucking yummy. I'll have 3 more.
And that's the thing with this. I would definitely do 3 more of these.
Yeah, I would too.
That's tasty.
I would too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very, very good. I'm gonna give that a 4.7.
I'll give it a 4.6. Absolutely.
Yeah, 4-5.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
That's very good.
That was tasty. That might be the best one we've had.
I'll be looking for
So
those.
I think that's definitely the best one we've
Yeah,
had.
that was
Definitely be looking for those.
Good. Well, shit, even the one we had last week was pretty good.
Yeah, but not
Yeah.
quite this good.
No, it was
That
right.
border was really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but not quite this good. This
Yeah.
is, but
This
I think
is-
we're all 3 IPA guys. So like this was gonna, you know what I mean?
Like IPA stout supporters, I'm on board with all of them. But
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
if gun to my head, I would choose IPA.
I choose IPA
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah,
My
that
fave.
was very fucking good.
Yes.
All right. Anything else in this shenanigan-filled shit show of a show?
Other than Carlos Correa going to 3 teams and ended up back at the same team he was with the season before.
Did he really?
Oh yeah. So
Wow.
he leaves Minnesota. He signs with the Giants, and they find a medical condition. He doesn't pass his physical. He bounces. Goes to sign with the Mets. Same issue. Can't pass the medical. He bounces from the Mets. So now he ends up back with the Twins. He signed a 6-year, $200-some-odd million deal.
So what was the medical issue?
Yeah.
Something
right.
with his leg. Or something with his
And the
leg.
Mets just don't give a shit. These
No,
other
they left. He left. The contract cancels out because he couldn't pass the physical.
No, I know, but who did he end up with then?
The Twins.
The Twins. Oh, I'm sorry. The Twins just don't give a shit. They're just
I guess not.
These 2 teams care about your medical issues.
Yeah.
We're fine. We'll pay you anyway. We're
Hop
good.
on one leg. We'll pay.
I
him.
mean, I'm
Cool.
assuming there's a clause in there somewhere like they can get out of the contract.
It's like
right.
Wow. All right.
They're out of injury issues.
Right. But yeah, he went to the Giants. They're like, no bueno. The Mets kind of the same thing, no bueno. And he ended up going back to the Twins because I think that's the only choice he had at that point.
Wow.
Because everybody else was like, nah, we're good. So I just found that a rather amusing story. So
yeah. All right. Well, I think that's going to be the end of the show. Give us a like, a share, and a follow on our social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, and YouTube. Even though the show doesn't have sound on YouTube today,
Apparently.
we're gonna try and fix that after the show. Check out all of our podcasts on your favorite podcast provider. Check out SOTDET.com. Click on the blogs. No more fantasy stuff, but we'll have that next season again. And you can click on shop and buy some shit. That'd be great. Once again, that's SOTDET.com. On behalf of Chris and Eric, I'm Joe. We are Sports on Tap Detroit. See you next Tuesday.
And that is it for us today.
No! God, please, no! Bye, have a great time. No! God!
Bye, guys.
No, 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 no!
Bye, buddy.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
Goodbye.
No!
It's never goodbye.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs.
And you were meant to be here tonight.
You guys will always be in my heart.
Great moments are born from great opportunity.
I think the most important part is that we all stay together throughout.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Live. Fight like hell. The best thing I have ever done, the best thing I will ever do, is be it bad.
God, I love you guys. Mamba out.